Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Looks to be a pretty nice day today. Probably a little cooler, but weather-wise, looking pretty nice. Want to mention to you, very good friends of ours. Many of you have used their stuff, but she's the best soap maker that I have ever used. Our whole family uses it, the whole community. That's where we get our soap, because it's really good stuff, really big, not those little thin, puny bars now you see a lot of times with homemade soaps. Good product, good soap, 15% off right now. If you go to the link and you put the coupon code grafted 15, grafted 15 is the coupon code. It's Grafted and Grace Creations. There'll be a link down there that you can click on and go over there and buy some of the best soap ever. All right. Well, I think the big news, gold is going crazy. Over 3,200. We're talking like 3,230, 3,220, 3,240 an ounce based on the US dollar. As you all know, gold is not increasing in value. It's that the dollar is decreasing, and people are seeing that, and they're like, we got to move from dollars to gold, right? This is a big deal. The dollar is also taking a hit. The dollar dipped down below, I think it was 99 point something overnight. So it's losing a lot. And of course, treasuries are going up. All those things combined basically mean that the country is in an economic turmoil, and that our currency is the thing that's going to get hit. Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan, CEO of JP Morgan, he said that the economy is in turmoil right now. It's in chaos, and it's going to be bad. And with everyone shifting over to gold and countries dumping US debt, which is what's happening, I know some of you hate to hear the doom and gloom stuff, but that's pretty doom and gloom. Here's the thing. It was just a few years ago that conservatives, Republicans, preppers, they were all talking about how dangerous it's going to be when gold starts spiking. And yet here it is spiking, and, no one's really talking about it too much. It's okay. This is part of the plan. I can remember just a few years ago, talks of how bad it's going to be when our dollar loses value, how much of a collapse, how hard that's going to be on people. And now we hear conservatives, this is necessary to fix things. Maybe it is. I'm not saying that we shouldn't necessarily go down this path of collapsing the system. There's just two things. Number one, I'm not confident that the person running the ship or the people, flying the plane are capable of rebuilding it in the right way. I think it's going to be rebuilt on digital. And then the second thing is that even though maybe it's necessary, even though maybe you agree with it, you need to understand how serious it's going to be. How serious it's going to be when our dollar loses value, or at least loses the global reserve status, if other countries start dumping it. I was reading an article yesterday of how it will level the playing field when it comes to the United States versus the rest of the world. And that may sound good for us, but actually that's not what that means. You see, the reason why America, one of the big reasons why America has prospered so much over decades, is because we have that global reserve status. It's because the rest of the world accepts, you all know this, you can go anywhere in the world, especially 5-10 years ago. You could go anywhere in the world and use U.S. currency. You didn't necessarily, it was more convenient to exchange U.S. currency for the local currency, but you could go anywhere in the world and you could use U.S. currency. People would take it. You can't go anywhere in the world and use some Zimbabwe whatever, or the Japanese yen or what, but the US dollar you could. And so what that did is it allowed Americans to bring in cheap goods. It allowed Americans to be able to buy things cheaper because our dollar was more powerful. And that's part of what caused America to prosper. That's part of what, it's not just the prospering, it's the quality of life and living that was raised in America. You know, I've talked about this before, that the average American lives a more luxurious life than a king or queen did 200 years ago. You know, the average American has, you know, conveniences and technology and all kinds of stuff that just a couple of decades, 2 or 3 decades ago, the vast majority of the world not only didn't have, they couldn't imagine having it. And still today, you know, a poor person in America would be considered wealthy most of the rest of the world. And that's the level playing field that will change. And we need to be prepared for that. I'm not saying that all of the stuff that's happening I disagree with it. Some of it I certainly do. But the reason why I make these videos is to get people to wake up and realize, even some of you preppers, like serious preppers, I think you're like, I'm prepared. It's going to be fine. We're going to be okay. You know, it is what it is. Well, that's true. You can't necessarily stop it, but you need to realize how bad things are. And looking at countries like Venezuela, when they went through their dollar collapse, when it hyperinflated, it's not just that money was tight or that it didn't buy things, is that it's just snowball effect to other things. Violence skyrocketed, gangs, immorality. You know, we went back to the oldest occupations where, you know, prostitution was prevalent everywhere, gang violence, all kinds of stuff was happening. You know, child horrible things. You know, it was awful down there. It got much worse. I've looked at studies talking about how, like, rape cases skyrocketed. I think in that first year, there was a study that I read that they went up 52,000%. 52,000% when they went through their hyperinflation and everything collapsed. If America goes through even just a portion of that, America's already on the edge in a lot of ways. Morality is the lowest it's ever been. Insanity is the highest it's ever been. Drug use is high. Crime is high. Just the fracturing of our society is already there. And so going through this, even if you think it's necessary, even if it is in fact necessary, the unintended consequences, collateral damage, is going to be great, and we need to get ready for that. We need to get our houses in order, like I tell you all the time. I mean, this weekend is perfect for that. This is Passover weekend. You need to be cleaning out all the junk out of your life. You know, traditionally during Passover, we clean out all the dirt out of our houses. Why? Because it's symbolic of cleaning out all the junk out of our life. You're getting your house in order. Okay, that's what Passover is getting your houses in order. And right now, the time that we're living in, the things that are happening, you need to be doing that now more than ever. I mean, this weekend, Passover, for many of you, some of you don't know what I'm talking about. Some of you don't do it. That's fine. Just ignore it. Or go look it up in Scripture and see why you should be doing it. But for the rest of you, this should be a very significant one because of all the things that's going on in the world. We really need to be doing that. We need to be getting our houses in order. And I'm not talking about just our preps or our skills or our training. I'm talking about in here. Because the world is getting worse. There's more dirt. There's more leavening out in the world today. It's getting worse. It's getting thicker. It's getting stronger. And so we need to be cleaning that out. Because things are happening. I mean, the world is getting more wicked. It's going to get harder and harder for people to keep their faith, to hold faith, because they're weak. Their faith is weak. The relationship with the Father's weak. And that's what I'm saying when I tell you to get your houses in order, is you need to strengthen that. You need to strengthen your preps. Stack beans, stack bullets. You need to strengthen your skills. Go out there and learn how to do things and then do them. Like garden and slaughter animals and fix things and build rainwater collection systems. And then you also need to be getting your spiritual life in order, because the slings and arrows are going to get pretty bad when all this starts falling apart. And gold skyrocketing, dollar dropping, bonds, treasury bills skyrocketing. I'm not saying that it's happening today or tomorrow or next week or next month, but it shows, it's a strong signal that there's big weakness in the system, and that the big giant behemoth America, an American dollar, it's getting weak. And the weaker it gets, the more likely someone like China will make its move on us. And you need to prepare for that. Get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.